Hello YouTube family, I hope you're all doing well. For anyone who's new to my channel, my name is Lakna. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to talk about the upcoming new moon and share some of my Vedic channeled insights that came through a meditation I did for this new moon recently. So this new moon is happening in a few days on January 18th or 19th, depending on where you live. And in Vedic astrology, this new moon is happening in Capricorn in the star nakshatra called Uttara Ashada, which is a really powerful, potent, super energizing, light-filled nakshatra. So it's a very powerful and pivotal time, especially because this is going to be the last new moon, which is going to help us wrap up the snake year, and the next new moon will be happening at the very start of the fire horse year, which starts on February 17th, and we will have a new moon solar eclipse on February 17th, which is going to be a huge new chapter which will unfold for 2026, which will then continue on with the fire horse year. But this new moon that we're going to talk about today, happening on January 18th or 19th, is also very, very powerful and potent, because this is that last new moon to help us close any chapters related to our snake year of 2025. Anything that is lingering and left for us to really clear out, to cleanse, to declutter, to shed, to release, to purge out of our system, to clear out of our lives, out of our wardrobe, out of our diet, out of our mind, through meditating, through journaling, through detoxing, through exercising, through sweating it out, through dancing it out, whatever it is you need to do, whatever, maybe there's some pending tasks that you need to complete so that it's not like this mental hurdle that's been weighing you down for so long. It could be anything, but this new moon is the time for you to really set your intention to clear out whatever is ready to be cleared out, and meditate on it, journal about it, and see what comes up, because we all have stuff to clear. It's just a part of the human experience, which is why we constantly have these moon cycles, and when we reach the culmination point of the full moon, it's like there's certain things that the moon brings to light that there is no way we can hold on to those things anymore. They'll forcefully be purged and cleared out of our lives. And the new moon is that time where we can really set our intentions to be able to see and to face those things, so that when we come to the time of the full moon, we have done the preparation and the work necessary to see the patterns and to see those sort of behaviors and habits that we have that aren't really serving us, that needs tweaking and needs adjusting, and maybe certain things that need closure now and completion and just letting go. So through my meditation, I just have highlighted all of these things to do with the sun, like all of this energy to do with the sun, because this star is Uttara Ashada, which is where this new moon is happening, is ruled by the sun. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so there is both this Saturnian energy and sun energy. So with Saturn, there is all of the energies that basically aren't easy, all of the things in life that are not easy but very, very important, things like taking responsibility and really working hard and being disciplined and doing the hard things, overcoming hurdles, being resilient, doing the things that you just don't want to do. That is all the Saturnian things. Karma, time is ruled by Saturn. Having boundaries is ruled by Saturn. So these are some things that could be coming up for you in this time, and just thinking about how you can be more responsible and more adult and just do the hard things necessary basically to create your best life. And when you do these things, you are rewarded, you do get the results. And yeah, karma is real. The more good you put out there, even the things that aren't seemingly easy, or it may be you don't see the results straight away, there's always going to be results that it may not show up instantly, but nothing goes unnoticed by the universe, and Saturn really teaches you that. So we do have the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto all in Capricorn at the time of this new moon. Obviously, we have the Sun and Moon both in Capricorn. When we have a new moon, they're both in the same sign. But then we also have Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto. And these planets are all being combusted by the Sun. And this was a similar theme that came up that I tapped into with the previous full moon, is when there are all of these planets being combusted by the Sun. Basically, what it means is that the Sun is so close to these planets that it is bringing up these themes of when in our lives we have been overpowered by Sun-like figures who are authority. They can be seen as like government, parental figures, teachers, bosses, managers, even friends and partners and family members can be seen as these external figures of having more authority over our own authority and power, seemingly, because we always have authority and power over ourselves and our lives. We have that responsibility. It's just that we forget. We have to forget in order for us to remember our strength and our power. And so this is a theme that's been coming up even, I think it was before the previous full moon, but it's been going on for a very long time. So in different areas of our lives, we are being shown basically where we have given away, forgotten our power, not being aware of our power for whatever reason. We've been manipulated or coerced, or just been in a vulnerable place, situation, or energy state. Maybe we've been just so free and so open to the external world, the external opinions of others, that we've taken it on way too seriously, way too much, and we've forgotten our own faith and our trust in ourselves and our intuition and our instinct, and not listened to ourselves. And we've taken the authority of another person or another, maybe even institution, government, even an ideology, it could be, that isn't our own. And that has essentially caused us to dim our light and to forget our power, to cause ourselves to shun away who we really are and not fully be authentically expressing ourselves in our freest, authentic light. We haven't felt safe or comfortable or even aware of our power and our light. So with Mercury being combusted by the Sun, this speaks of our voice being suppressed and held back, through these external distractions, manipulations, whatever it's been, because we've received resistance around speaking our truth, we have slowly suppressed our voice and not. And so now it's time to reflect on, do we speak authentically, clearly, confidently, courageously? Do we speak and express ourselves? And it may not just be through our voice, it could be through how we share our truth to the world. It could be in so many ways, not just through speaking. It could be through any sort of ways that we want to express ourselves. It could be through music, it could be through writing, it could be through some sort of other creative field as well. Then, Venus has also been combust by the sun, so that is, it's time also for us to reflect on where our idea of love and being open with our heart has been maybe taken for granted, maybe unreciprocated, imbalanced, unappreciated. So when it comes to that, it's time to have stronger boundaries. I got this from ChatGPT. I was going through something and I can't remember exactly what I was going through, but I was asking the ChatGPT about it, and which I try not to do, don't judge me for that, please, but it actually, ChatGPT came up with a really, really profound quote which said, boundaries don't block love, they direct your love to areas where it can circulate. You can't continue to flow your cup to cups that are leaking, because they will just continue to drain and it will never be enough. So that's just something to think about, especially with all the Capricorn energy, and Capricorn is all about like needing to have those healthy boundaries because of the giving nature of Capricorn. Then Mars is also combust by the sun, so our ability to take authentic action has also been stifled or suppressed or blocked by external forces in certain areas of our lives, and that may resurface, and it's allowing ourselves the ability to act, defend, protect, and basically do what we need to move authentically. The amount of people who have gone down, I've just got it written down, so the amount of people who have gone down career pathways that they didn't actually want to do, maybe being pushed by family to do a certain career path because of like financial security, and not necessarily through passion or through authenticity. That was such a thing back in the day, and I think now it's not as much. People are more so following their passions, but it is a massive thing. Like, so many people are working in fields that they have no interest in, but they were just really sort of pushed into, or really just guided into doing certain things that they don't want to do. So that's just a really good example. So with Mars combust the sun, take the aligned actions that you are intuitively guided to do and that are necessary for you to rewrite your story as authentically as you possibly can. And it's never too late to do all of the things that you want to do. And I truly believe that you can do all of the things that you want to do, maybe not all together all at once, but you can do them. You just have to prioritize what is most important to you, and yeah, it's all possible. And so I've also gotten written down that all of these combust planets, which has been happening since the previous full moon as well, which was the Uttara full moon, so that was a really potent full moon. So this chapter has been really transmuting energies, And so it's kind of like this pressure cooker of energy where all of the ways in which in our past where we have been suppressed, neglected, overlooked, our light has been dimmed, or been, maybe people have just been jealous or triggered by our light. Those sorts of themes, memories, situations, events, whatever it is, are going to be resurfacing for us to transmute that pain, and to take our power back, and to see ourselves clearly for who we are, in our strength and our power, in our light, in our authenticity, and to be fearless and courageous in being ourselves truly, no matter how people show up or react or respond to us in the future. Because the thing is, when you do show up authentically, people will either be like super inspired by you, or they'll be completely triggered by you. And we live in a world of total polarity, so you will experience both ends of the spectrum. You can't escape it. You can't escape that polarity of being hated on, or just getting really uncomfortable and not so nice reactions out of the external world. That is bound to happen if you are doing the right things for yourself, because there are so many people who aren't, and seeing you live your life is going to trigger those people into changing, into hopefully changing, because you are being that example. And that is a really powerful thing, and it's an important thing. And yeah, it's important to wake up to any sort of people-pleasing tendencies, or any sort of tendencies that we may have that are causing us to maybe dim ourselves so that the external world feels more comfortable, or external people, external situations, environments, and people and things. We don't need to mold ourselves in an inauthentic way just to fit in. And we're going to be soon moving into this, well, we have started actually. 2026 is a number 10 or 1 year. So in numerology, this year is literally way more about independence, and you are number one. Like, it is your path that you are following, no one else's. Like, you create your destiny, which is so unique to you. So being the first new moon to start 2026, this number 10 or 1 year of independence, and number 1 is ruled by the sun, and this star which rules this new moon, Uttara, Ashada, is also ruled by the sun. So this new moon is really, really time for us to honor and really step into our own sun, which is our own real sense of self, our identity. And the sun in Vedic astrology is literally our pure consciousness, our light that we hold within us. And it's time to share that with the world, and authentically, not with any barriers that we've built up. It's time to clear those, to let go of all of those blocks, with ending the snake year with this new moon. This is time for us to clear away all of those barriers and limitations. And yeah, authority, ownership, audacity, independence, those are some words that came up when I was thinking about this entire year of 2026, but especially also this new moon. And just a few more themes about this star of Uttara Ashada and the Vedic themes coming up with the new moon is that Uttara Ashada is this star known as the universal star. So it is very connected to universal consciousness, which is very interesting when you think about all of these themes of independence and really being like really being strong and sure of yourself independently of others, which it just shows how important it is to know yourself and to be so strong in your sense of self before connecting with others. And it's like you can't just be boundaryless when you're connecting with others and just not know who you are, because then you become codependent, you lose your sense of self, you forget who you are. And those are the themes that I've been mentioning that we are now rewriting in our storybook, the ways that we have forgotten who we are and lost ourselves and taken on other people's opinions too strongly and forgotten our connection to our own intuition and just betrayed ourselves in different sorts of ways. This star is also known as the later victorious star. So there is those themes to do with becoming successful later on, after struggles, after resilience and endurance, and the stability that is long-standing and is very Saturnian themes. And yeah, it's known as the unsubdued, the undefeated star as well, which is so relatable with all of the themes I've mentioned about with when you are really authentically shining your light, no matter what the external world says, you are undefeatable and you're not able to be subdued or suppressed. You're just remaining true to yourself. And there's also the symbol, which I really like, of the planks of the bed, which hold the structure and foundation of the bed together, and that's very Capricorn. It's very like hard and painful, that part of the bed. Like if you were to lie just on the planks of the bed, that would not be comfortable, but it is that base foundation to keep your bed steady. And it's just so symbolic of the energy of creating structure, support, foundation, strength, stability for yourself, which is so important. I do have written down that the shadow of that with this star is that there is no softness or pleasure with the planks of the bed. Like there's no pillow, there's no mattress, there's no beauty in that. It's just the base foundation, which is the beginning stage. But I think with this new moon and with all of the Capricorn energies and all of the intensity of this pressure, which is wanting us to transmute whatever is coming up, it's important to also ask, how can you symbolically add that mattress into your life and the pillows and the beautiful bed sheets and maybe like a soft toy or some flowers, or you know, like a nice, like a crystal or something, like whatever you like to put on your bed to make it more comfortable for yourself, to feel more comfort. How can you add more comfort, rest, joy and play into your life, ensuring that you are also working diligently towards your goals and creating the structure, the stability and the foundations necessary for your mind, body and spirit and your physical self and your path. How can you create that balance, inner and outer balance, and self-care as well as self-love, respect and honoring your light? How can you have balance in all of that? So yeah, that's just something to reflect on. But yeah, that's basically all the notes I have written down for this powerful new moon. I would love to hear what's coming up for you all. We're also, obviously, this new moon is post previous full moon, which I was tapping into this energy coming up to do with a lot of patriarchal programming. So I'm curious to hear what's come up for you all with that, because I do feel like that is just this ongoing theme, which is just so huge, and it's affecting all of us on Earth. Like, it's just this big thing that is a huge part of all of this clearing that's taking place with this pressure cooker of energies that has caused us to dim our light and forget our power and our connection to our own source consciousness, which is our sun, our inner light. It's all really to do with that patriarchal programming. So I'd love to hear what's come up for you, and if you can relate and connect the combustion of the planets to that. I personally, I need to really meditate on my own life and see what's coming up in regards to that. But I do know these themes are so relevant for me right now. I'm processing a lot to do with my connection to people and just this world in general, and just I've been feeling personally quite disconnected from people, and just feeling like just questioning my place in the world and as an individual, and how I relate to people and who my people are. And I do have beautiful friends and family and people that love me and that I love as well, but I know this is like such an Aquarius theme, and I have a stellium of Aquarius planets in my 12th house, so I do go through this feeling of disconnection sometimes, where I feel like I don't really fully feel seen or understood. But yeah, I'm curious to hear if anyone else is going through any of these themes like that as well. I'm still processing it and feeling like I'm coming into more clarity, but yeah, I do think I'm coming to more of this understanding of maybe I am, as a strong 12th house person, just a bit more connected to spirit and to animals and to nature. And I do have some really special people in my life as well, and they just don't live here in the same state as me, so it is a little bit hard. But it's also, I feel like, something that if you resonate with being a light worker, I feel like it is something that we go through, where we get sort of placed in certain areas to do like grid work and to help the collective consciousness in certain areas for whatever reason. But yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling on now about myself, but I'd love to hear what's going on with you all. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Have a beautiful last new moon for the snake year before we move into the fire horse year and solar eclipse next month in February. So yeah, I'm excited for all of us.